Have you ever felt like you've given too much? Like you've sacrificed your happiness, time, and even your sense of self for someone who barely noticed? Perhaps you bent over backward trying to fit into her world, only to watch her walk away without a second glance. It's a bitter pill, isn't it? But here's a truth that will shake you. The problem isn't with her. It's with the way you've allowed her to hold the reins of your life. In today's world, too many men find themselves caught in a relentless cycle of seeking approval, begging for affection, and sacrificing their identity for love. But what if I told you this isn't the way to capture her heart, or anyone's for that matter? True attraction, true connection, comes from strength, confidence, and an unshakable sense of self. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. No, this is about reclaiming your power, walking your own path, and allowing her to meet you where you stand, not chasing her shadow. By the end of this journey, you'll not only understand why begging for her love is the fastest way to lose it, but you'll also learn how to embody the kind of man who captivates and commands respect effortlessly. Stay with me, because the final step might just be the most transformative. Let's start by protecting what matters most, your mental health and happiness. 1. Protect your mental health and happiness. Picture this: you're standing in a storm, holding a fragile flame. The winds howl, the rain pours, and you're using your hands to shield that flickering light. But instead of protecting your own warmth, you're holding it out to keep someone else warm. What happens next? Eventually the flame dies, and you're left shivering in the cold, drenched and depleted. Sound familiar? Many men fall into this trap, believing that their happiness must be sacrificed to ensure someone else's. They set themselves on fire to keep her warm, only to be left in ashes while she walks away, oblivious to the cost of their sacrifice. But here's the thing: happiness doesn't come from external validation, it's an inside job. As Aristotle wisely said, happiness depends upon ourselves. Ask yourself, how many times have you ignored your own well-being just to make her smile? How many sleepless nights have you spent worrying about her happiness while your own peace lay in ruins? And it's time to flip the script. You are the guardian of your own mental health, the protector of your joy. No one else can do this for you, and no one else should have the power to take it away. Now you might be thinking, but isn't love about sacrifice? The answer is yes, but only to a point. There's a world of difference between healthy compromise and self-destruction. When your sacrifices leave you feeling drained, anxious, and empty, you're not building a relationship, you're building a prison. So how do you guard your mental fortress? Start by setting boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're gates that ensure only the right people come in. If she truly cares, she'll respect your limits. If she doesn't, she was never worth the sacrifice in the first place. And remember, Stoicism teaches us that inner peace is the foundation of a strong and balanced life. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's not about controlling her actions, it's about mastering your reactions. When you prioritize your mental health, you become unshakable, a fortress in the storm. Here's a simple exercise. Take a moment every day to reflect. Ask yourself, am I happy? Am I at peace? If the answer is no, identify what's disrupting your balance and take action. Whether it's stepping away from toxic situations or simply dedicating more time to self-care, every small step strengthens your mental armor. The moment you stop sacrificing your happiness for hers, something magical happens. You become more attractive, more magnetic. Why? Because confidence and self-respect are irresistibly captivating. She'll notice the change, and she'll be drawn to the man who knows his worth. So protect your flame. Don't let anyone dim your light, not even her. Remember, you are the hero of your own story, not a supporting character in hers. And as you walk this path, the universe will align in ways you never thought possible. Are you ready to take control? Good, because this is only the beginning. Stay tuned, and together we'll uncover the next crucial step in your transformation. 2. Don't commit to things you don't like to please them. Imagine standing in front of a mirror staring at a reflection that isn't yours. You're wearing a mask, carefully crafted to fit someone else's expectations. The mask feels tight, suffocating even, but you keep it on because you think it's the only way to keep her close. Now ask yourself, is this the life you want to live? Too often, men fall into the trap of saying yes when they mean no. They agree to things they despise, plans, habits, even lifestyles, just to keep her happy. At first, it might seem like a small price to pay for love, but over time, these little compromises pile up. What starts as a minor inconvenience turns into a mountain of resentment. Eventually, you're left questioning who you are and what you stand for. Albert Camus once said, "To be happy, we must not be too concerned with others." This doesn't mean you should become selfish or indifferent, but it does mean prioritizing your desires and values. When you constantly mold yourself to fit someone else's preferences, you betray your authenticity. And here's the paradox. The more you lose yourself trying to please her, the less attractive you become. So women are drawn to men who stand firm in their identity, not to those who bend at every whim. So how do you break free from this cycle? It starts with one powerful word: no. Saying no isn't just about rejecting things you dislike, it's about affirming your own worth. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your values, you're saying yes to yourself. You're declaring, my time, energy, and happiness are valuable, and I won't compromise them for anyone. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you said yes to something you hated? How did it make you feel? Did you feel empowered, or did you feel like a puppet in someone else's play? The next time you're faced with a decision, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to or because I feel pressured to? If it's the latter, give yourself permission to walk away. Here's another truth. Real connection doesn't require you to change who you are. If she truly cares for you, she'll respect your boundaries and appreciate your honesty. On the other hand, if her affection depends on your willingness to sacrifice your identity, then it's not love, it's control. Stoicism offers valuable insight here. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect. Living authentically requires courage, but it's the only path to genuine happiness. When you stop pretending, you'll find that the right people will be drawn to your authenticity, and those who demand your compliance will fade away. Let's get practical. Start small. The next time she suggests something that doesn't sit right with you, take a breath and respond honestly. You don't have to be harsh or confrontational. A simple, "That's not really my thing," or "I'd rather not," is enough. Watch how she reacts. If she respects your stance, you've taken a step towards a healthier relationship. If she pushes back or manipulates you, consider it a red flag. Remember, life is not a performance, and you are not an actor playing a role to please the audience. You are the lead in your own story, and every decision you make should reflect your true self. So take off the mask, breathe freely, stand tall in your truth, and watch as the world and she starts to respect the real you. 3. Maintain connections with friends and family. Have you ever found yourself drifting away from the people who've always been there for you, your family, your closest friends, all because of one person? Cancel plans, ignore calls, and slowly sever the ties that have anchored you through life's storms. It happens gradually, almost imperceptibly, until one day you wake up and realize you're standing alone on an island you built with your own hands. This is a dangerous place to be. Your friends and family are more than just familiar faces, they're your roots, your foundation. They've celebrated your victories and lifted you during your darkest hours. Yet, in the pursuit of love or validation, many men abandon these vital connections. So why? Because they believe pleasing her requires their undivided attention, even at the expense of their own support system. But here's the truth. Isolation is not love, it's control. Plato once said people are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt. When you distance yourself from your friends and family for someone else's approval, you're choosing to wilt. You're cutting off your lifelines in exchange for a relationship that might not even last. Let me ask you this. Who's going to be there when things go wrong? who will catch you when you fall. If you've pushed away your closest allies, you'll find yourself facing life's challenges alone. And make no mistake, those challenges will come. Relationships are not immune to conflict, and when the storm hits, you'll need the strength and wisdom of your support network more than ever. So how do you reconnect? Start by reaching out. Call that friend you've been meaning to check in on. Visit your family, even if it's just for a short conversation. Let them know they matter. You'll be surprised at how quickly those bonds can be rebuilt and how much stronger you'll feel with your tribe behind you. Now, a quick word to the wise. If you're watching this and nodding along, if you've been in this situation or know someone who has, hit that like button. Spread this message to more men who need to hear it. Together, we can build a community rooted in strength and self-respect. Back to the core message. Maintaining your connections doesn't mean neglecting your relationship. It means finding balance. A healthy partnership thrives on mutual respect and independence. If she truly values you, she'll encourage you to nurture your friendships and family ties. In fact, she'll likely admire the loyalty and strength you show in maintaining those relationships. In the end, life is too short to spend it alone, whether physically or emotionally. Reconnect with those who've always had your back, and you'll find that your relationships, romantic or otherwise, become richer and more fulfilling. 4. Don't stop living your own life to fit theirs. Let's paint a picture. You're walking down a vibrant path, one filled with the colors of your dreams, passions, and aspirations. Each step feels purposeful, every moment a testament to your unique journey. But then, she comes along. Slowly, you start veering off your path, trying to align your footsteps with hers. You abandon your rhythm, your pace, your direction, all in the name of love. Before long, you're lost, wondering how you ended up so far from where you were meant to be. Does this scenario sound familiar? It's a trap many fall into, the allure of molding their life around someone else's. But here's the hard truth. No relationship built on self-abandonment can truly thrive. As Seneca wisely stated, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When you scatter your focus, trying to fit into her world, you lose sight of your own. Ask yourself, what dreams have I put on hold? What passions have I sidelined? If your life has become a reflection of someone else's desires, it's time to reclaim your autonomy. You're not here to live someone else's story. You're here to write your own epic. The reality is, women are drawn to men who are confident in their direction. They don't want a shadow following them. They want a partner walking beside them, each on their own journey. So how do you get back on track? Start by rediscovering what makes you, you. Reignite those passions, pursue those goals, and let your life shine in its own right. Let's take a moment to reflect. What are the things you've always wanted to do but never pursued? Is it starting that business, traveling to a dream destination, or maybe it's something as simple as picking up an old hobby? Whatever it is, take the first step today. Remember, your journey is just as important as hers. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, reminds us that fulfillment comes from living in alignment with our true selves. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you prioritize your own growth, your thoughts become clearer, your path more defined. This isn't selfishness, it's self-respect. Here's a powerful exercise. Create a vision board for your life. Fill it with images and words that represent your goals, values, and dreams. Place it somewhere visible, and every time you see it, let it serve as a reminder of your purpose. Let it guide you back to your path whenever you feel the pull to stray. Now you might be wondering, will she feel left out? The answer is no, if she's the right person. A healthy relationship thrives when both individuals are pursuing their best selves. She'll respect your independence, and more importantly, she'll be inspired by your dedication to your own growth. This kind of mutual respect lays the foundation for a partnership that elevates both of you. Let me ask you this. How much more magnetic would you be if you were fully living your truth? How much more captivating would you become if you were unapologetically pursuing your dreams? The answer lies not in seeking her approval, but in owning your journey. When you do, you'll find that the right person will naturally be drawn to your orbit, not the other way around. So take control. Lace up your shoes, step back onto your path, and walk with purpose. The world doesn't need another man who's lost his way. It needs more men who lead with conviction. And remember, your journey isn't just about reaching the destination, it's about embracing every twist and turn along the way. 5. Manage your time wisely. Time. It's the one resource we can never reclaim, the silent currency of life that slips through our fingers every second. Yet how often do we squander it on people who don't value it? How many hours, days, or even years have you poured into someone else's world, only to find yourself drained with nothing to show for it? Here's a hard pill to swallow. Every minute you obsessively spend on her is a minute you'll never get back. You're investing in someone else's needs, wants, and desires, often at the expense of your own. It's like pouring water into a bottomless cup while your own thirst goes unquenched. As Seneca reminded us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Let me ask you, how often have you found yourself anxiously waiting for her call or text? How many times have you rearranged your entire schedule just to accommodate her, only to be left waiting or disappointed? These moments add up, and before you know it, you've sacrificed a significant portion of your life chasing someone who barely noticed. It's time to reclaim your time. Think of it as your most valuable asset, a treasure that deserves to be spent wisely. This doesn't mean you should stop caring or being present for the people who matter. It means finding balance. Dedicate time to your passions, your goals, and your personal growth. The more you invest in yourself, the richer your life becomes. Here's a practical tip. Start tracking your time. Keep a journal for a week and note how you spend each hour of your day. At the end of the week, review it. You'll likely be shocked at how much time you've wasted on unproductive or emotionally draining activities. Use this insight to make conscious changes. Another powerful technique is the priority matrix. Categorize your tasks and interactions into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, neither urgent nor important. The goal: focus on quadrant 2, the tasks and people that contribute to your long-term growth and happiness. Now let's get real for a moment. If you've made it this far, you're serious about transforming your life, and I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one area of your life where you've been wasting time. Let's hold each other accountable and start making those changes together. Remember, time spent on personal development is never wasted. Whether it's learning a new skill, working out, or simply enjoying a moment of solitude, these are the investments that pay the greatest dividends. When you prioritize your time, you send a powerful message, not just to her, but to the universe. I value myself. And here's the kicker: women notice. They notice when a man values his time, when he moves with purpose and intention. It's an irresistible trait because it signals self-respect and confidence. So reclaim your time and watch how your world transforms. In the next chapter, we'll dive into why independence is key to maintaining your individuality in any relationship. Stay tuned because the best is yet to come. 6. Avoid becoming overly dependent. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and noticed how the moon, beautiful as it is, always follows the path set by the planet it orbits? It shines, yes, but only by reflecting the light of another. Now think about your own life. Have you been a moon orbiting around someone else's world, reflecting their light while your own brilliance fades into the background? Dependency in relationships often starts subtly. You feel a strong connection, and before you know it, your life begins to revolve around her. Your plans, decisions, and even your sense of self-worth hinge on her presence, her validation. While it may feel like love, what's really happening is the slow erosion of your independence. But here's the hard truth. Dependency isn't attractive. It places the burden of your happiness on someone else's shoulders, creating a dynamic where your value is tied to her attention. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." When your sense of fulfillment comes from within, you become not only more confident but also more appealing. So let's break this down. What does dependency look like? It's constantly seeking her approval, needing her to validate your choices, and feeling lost or incomplete when she's not around. It's the feeling that your life's meaning is tied to her presence. But ask yourself this: is this truly living? Let me share a simple truth. The foundation of a healthy relationship is not two people completing each other, but two whole individuals walking their own paths, choosing to share their journeys. When you cling too tightly, you don't just lose your independence, you also stifle her. People are drawn to freedom, not control. Now, how do you reclaim your independence? Start by rediscovering your passions. What activities make you lose track of time? What hobbies or interests have you set aside? Dive back into these pursuits. Not only will they bring you joy, but they'll also remind you that your life is rich and fulfilling on its own. Next, cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness. Take time each day to reflect on your thoughts and emotions. Journaling is a powerful tool here. Write down what you're feeling, especially in moments of insecurity or anxiety. Over time, you'll start to recognize patterns and triggers, allowing you to address them without relying on external validation. And let's talk about Stoicism for a moment. This philosophy teaches us the importance of inner strength and self-reliance. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you free yourself from the need for external validation. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you reduce your emotional dependency, you become wealthier in peace and confidence. Let's pause for a moment. Think about your own life. Are there areas where you've been overly dependent on someone else? If so, it's time to make a change. Start small. Set a goal for yourself that's entirely your own, a fitness milestone, a career objective, or even mastering a new skill. Pour your energy into it and watch as your confidence grows. Here's a critical point to remember. Independence doesn't mean isolation. It means building a life so fulfilling that someone else's presence becomes a beautiful addition, not a necessary piece. When you achieve this balance, you'll find that your relationships become healthier, more balanced, and deeply rewarding. Women admire men who stand tall on their own. They're drawn to those who can walk alone but choose to walk together. By reclaiming your independence, you not only enhance your own life, but also elevate the dynamic of any relationship you enter. So stop being the moon. It's time to shine as your own sun. Burn brightly, illuminate your own path, and let her bask in the warmth of your self-assured glow. In the next section, we'll explore the power of keeping your past guarded, ensuring that you remain in control of your narrative. Stay with me. 7. Be selective in sharing your past. Think of your past as a sacred vault filled with moments that shaped you, the triumphs, the failures, the scars, and the lessons. These experiences are the foundation of who you are, your personal treasures and trials. Yet how often do we feel compelled to lay it all bare, to share every dark secret and every painful memory in the hopes of deepening a connection? While vulnerability has its place, not everyone deserves unrestricted access to your inner world. Sharing too much, too soon can leave you exposed, vulnerable to judgment, or worse, exploitation. Friedrich Nietzsche captured this perfectly. When we are tired, we are attacked by ideas we conquered long ago. By revealing the darkest parts of your past indiscriminately, you risk reopening wounds and giving someone the power to use them against you. So why do we do this? Perhaps it's the illusion that complete transparency equates to trust, or the desire to forge a deeper bond quickly. But true connection doesn't require a full broadcast of your history. In fact, restraint can be far more powerful. It's about knowing what to share, when to share, and with whom. Let me ask you this. How much of your past do you currently wear on your sleeve? Have you ever regretted revealing too much to someone who later used it to hurt you? If so, it's time to rethink your approach. Your past is your power, but only when wielded wisely. Start by setting boundaries around your personal narrative. When she asks about your history, it's okay to share, but keep it measured. Offer insights that help her understand you without exposing every raw nerve. And remember, some chapters of your life are for your eyes only. They've shaped you, but they don't define your present. Stoicism offers a valuable perspective here. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By guarding your past, you protect the essence of who you are. You keep the power in your hands, ensuring that your narrative remains under your control. Here's a simple exercise. Reflect on your past and identify the moments you're comfortable sharing and those you'd rather keep private. Practice articulating these stories in a way that's authentic but guarded. This doesn't mean being secretive, it means being selective. When you guard your past, you also maintain an air of mystery. And let's face it, mystery is compelling. It keeps her intrigued, wanting to know more, but on your terms. This balance of openness and discretion creates a dynamic where trust is built gradually, not forced. In the end, your past is a gift, but not one to be given lightly. Share it with those who've earned your trust and protect it from those who haven't. When you control your narrative, you stand tall in your power, unshaken by judgment or manipulation. Now let's move toward the final piece of this transformative journey. In the next section, we'll tie everything together and explore how to become the man who not only commands respect but also captivates effortlessly. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. You've made it this far. By now, you've seen the path that leads away from self-doubt and dependency and towards self-mastery and fulfillment. But before we close this journey, let's bring everything together and reflect on the transformation waiting for you. Every principle we've explored, protecting your mental health, refusing to sacrifice your identity, and valuing your time and independence, leads to one ultimate truth. You are the architect of your own life. The man who stops begging for her attention, validation, or love doesn't become cold or detached. Instead, he becomes magnetic. His energy, rooted in self-respect and confidence, draws others in naturally. Why? Because people, especially women, are attracted to strength, not brute force, but the quiet, unshakable kind that comes from knowing your worth. To each of these steps is a building block, crafting the foundation of a man who lives with purpose and integrity. When you embody these principles, you're not just improving your relationships, you're transforming every aspect of your life. You'll find that opportunities, both personal and professional, start to align. You'll attract people who respect and admire you for who you truly are, not who they want you to be. Now it's time to take action. This isn't just theory, it's a call to change. I want you to reflect on everything we've discussed and ask yourself, which of these areas have I struggled with the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's build a community of men committed to growth, authenticity, and self-respect. Your journey can inspire others, and together we can create a movement of powerful Stoic men. If you found value in this, don't stop here. Like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's spread the word and help more men reclaim their power. And one last thing, subscribe to this channel. This is just the beginning. Every day will bring you unfiltered, uncensored wisdom to help you become the best version of yourself. Together we'll explore the depths of Stoicism, the art of confidence, and the keys to meaningful relationships. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, you are the hero of your story. Now go out there and live it with courage, purpose, and unwavering strength. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and never stop growing.